Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. We rocking and rolling. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, we're heading on in a few more minutes as it officially starts at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we're going to have people joining through the phone lines, as well as some people will actually get an opportunity to step into this live with me all at the same time. So I'm sitting here, I'm going to tune up for myself. And so that when other people see this in a pre-recorded format, they get to hear some sounds. Shivaya. Om Namah 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 Shivaya. 3 minutes to go. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 1 minute left to go, and we're going to go live. We're live right now. I'm going to make sure My phone is not in a ringing mode. As we step into this day, this is Thursday, May the 18th, 2017. About 15 seconds to go. You're joining myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I am founder, chief principal teacher for the Circle of Grace One. Now you're live to whoever joins in right now. Welcome to the Circle of Grace One, live with myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Circle of Grace One was founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD under the aegis and the anointing of the angel of grace through divine providence, gave birth to his very own spiritual and metaphysical five-tiered institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance on February the 7th, 2009. I've been in this field for approximately 43 years, coming up on July the 2nd of 2017, 43. So we're doing a lot more broadcasting. I've been broadcasting live online since 2008. I began on one network. That time it was called Mogulus, and then they became Live Stream. And then from there, I moved over to the following year. I moved over to Ustream. I've tried so many. I did Justin TV. I did YouTube, another kind of YouTube. But I'm now here. I have my own channel for YouTube, which is under my name, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. You can always join me on Facebook, and I am there on Facebook under the name Circle of Grace One, as well as Brother Francis Revels-Bey. I want to get started with an opening affirmative prayer, which is also a decree, and it's my goal that you receive it as a meditation. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all who have this opportunity to join me live and watch this live video session or see it later, upload it to my YouTube channel, or you may receive it directly through an email. May you be blessed by everything that you hear here and see here and witness and are able to embrace. Know that every word that comes forward from me to you, from my heart to your heart, is a seed of grace, so that your life flows effortlessly, so that things come into your life and you, in turn, can turn around and bless other people. May you be expanded in your awareness. May you have greater connections in your life. May you be able to proceed in your life with greater love for humanity, for all who are beyond this world, all who are in this world, all of us who are here on this side of the veil, and those beyond. And so shall it be, and so it is. Amen. And now we'll commence. Today's program is basically revolving around the meaning or knowing, I'll say that, knowing more about spiritual light. Now, I talk about this in different ways. Spiritual light leads to greater spiritual well-being. And all beings, B-E-I-N-G-S, all of us are beings who are in motion in our God consciousness, in our awareness. And our soul is nothing more than the God aspect, the infinite aspect of God, or seed of God, the flower of God within ourselves. So it's my hope in this 40-minute live video session today that you will be able to walk away with a fuller consciousness of yourself, and that you realize that you are already carrying light within you. You just have to bring that light forward. Now, there are many, many tools that I could speak upon that will help you understand how you're utilizing light that is around you. But I was thinking earlier today, what is the easiest yet has been the most difficult tool to enhance our spiritual life? And what I've found out and realized is that we all have it. We all utilize it all the time. We often bestow it upon other people faster than we bestow it upon ourselves. And this particular tool is a universal transformational tool. And without this tool, you don't get but so far in this 3D hologram world as well as beyond it. And so I want to mention what that is, and I'm quite sure you already know what it is. But just in case, I'm going to bring it forward, and we're going to call it what it is, and that is unconditional love. It is unconditional love that allows us to have greater spiritual light and become in a state of awareness, 100% conscious awareness, which many people also call um, mindfulness. It is 100% inside of you already. It's embedded in all of your DNA and RNA structures there within you, within every cell of your being. So you, on some level, have been exercising it the entire time in your life. You've been exercising unconditional love in your life. You started out unconditional love with your uh, parents, the guardians, the ones that you chose to have a soul contract with that assisted you in your current life stream. Everybody that is a sibling to you, an aunt or uncle to you, a close friend that you acquire in life. Maybe it's a professor at a university or a clergy member, or somebody right next door, someone you went to grade school with, high school with, college, university level, people that you've perhaps met on your job, people you met at some type of environment, outdoor program, museum, you name it. You notice there's a certain attraction that drew those people into your life and you into their life. And the glue that holds you together in your own life as well as in connection to everything else connected to you is unconditional love. So what is unconditional love? Unconditional love is loving with no strings attached, loving without grudges, loving without tying someone to you. In other words, you love this person only if they love you. So unconditional means there are no conditions on love, which also means that somewhere you learn how to do your best to receive people as the way that they are without you trying to put them into a specific uh, square or round peg or whatever, without you trying to put them in these various categories. Your job is to do your best to not put them into a specific area, but allow them to be who they are in that area, because they are also souls like yourself who are remembering. And we are a catalyst for each other. We are supporters to each other or cheerleaders to each other. We're teachers to each other. So we're here, or everybody is consciously and some are unconsciously for the most part playing roles. And these roles are significant to your well-being as well as their well-being. So this is why unconditional love is the hardest personal tool, universal tool of transformation to be able to acquire more spiritual light into your life and to be able to radiate that light and be able to radiate it in such a way that you find yourself resonating with like minds, like beings. But it is the most difficult tool because we know from time to time, if you're dealing with various souls who forget that they're just playing a role in your life, and they eventually, through uh, getting too closely connected to their personal ego, then they fall into a false sense of power and authority over your life. And then therefore they start controlling your life, or you start having butting of heads, your will against their will. They don't agree on the same things that you feel comfortable with, and those things that that can make you grow, and you may not feel comfortable with what they're doing. However, unconditional love can erase all of that. But unconditional love is often hard to come by, or hard to grow into, because every family unit that we find that is around ourselves, we as soul groups, various layers of soul groups, agree to have them play these roles in our lives. And when one is playing these roles, often one forgets. Not all people forget, but the majority of the people do forget that, um, unless you have a very high level enlightened guardian around you, known as a parent or aunt or uncle or granddad, grandmom, if they are consciously aware of their own divinity, then they realize they're just in your life for a moment. They're playing the role as parent or guardian for a moment to make sure you are able to thrive, not just survive, but thrive at an earlier age. Hopefully, in our standards, I'm 65, so during my day, the standard was you're getting ready, you're getting out of college and you're getting grown. So right around age 20, 21, you have to get ready, 2022, to step out into the world. And we know up to 43 and 52, 1952, and then the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now in 2000, children are being born in this millennium already know why they are here, already connected to divine energies around them, already have gifts operating almost 60, 70, 80, and for some 100%, just already operating that way on a very high level. So we find ourselves often not ready and not prepared to be able to welcome in the souls, let alone understand ourselves. And so we have to work hard at understanding ourselves and how we play a very important role in the development of younger minds, as well as, when I say younger minds, not only just the babies, the preteens, the teenagers, and the young adults, and then the adults, depending on where you are in that strata zone of age. You have so many people that enter your path that you may have to school them, teach them. And at the same time, they're schooling and teaching you. So now, this brings me to another point. We all have to pull out the sword of discernment. Discernment is that ability that allows us to know right from wrong, to know when something is good for us or not good for us, whether a relationship actually works for us or not. And often, if we follow our gut feeling, the psychic side as well as the empathic side, which is another layer of the psychic side, and another layer of that is your intuitive nature, starts to give you these signals and sort of lets you know ahead of time if something is going to work out for the highest good, or work out just for you or the other person. It may not be for your highest good, but the experience with that person might lead you to the next bridge in your life. So we have to often look and try our best to acquire discernment in our lives. Some people call it discriminatory abilities. But you don't want to use that term, because that means you might cancel out a whole bunch of people, only have a few people in place. And many people have done that, and I've seen that with a lot of clients who are in the business. Sometimes they have so many difficulties, so many hurdles to overcome, and they've had so many people take advantage of them. And some people are unaware that they're taking advantage of them. There are those who do know, but there's some who don't know. They're being used by others to disrupt someone's opportunities from continuing in their life or not even beginning in their life. So I've seen people sometimes just shut everybody out. But then when they do that, because now they made that decision without any sense of unconditional love, without any sense of clearer discernment, they really responded more on the emotional pain, what they felt, what they experienced. So they wound up cutting everybody out. And I've seen people in like the entertainment field wondering why they're not getting to that next level. And then you point out to them, well, okay, you didn't really get along with this woman A, B, and C, and the guy X, Y, and Z. However, they had certain skills and connections. So what you needed to do was kind of, for the moment, overlook some of these things that they were doing that may have impeded your progress. If you couldn't straighten out, kind of overlook it, keep them within your circles of contacts until you get to a certain plateau, then disconnect, weed them out. So many times, the power of unconditional love is in our hands, and we don't often realize just how powerful we are. This is why I say that we are spiritual, sentient beings. And this means that we are aware of where light and energy comes from at any given point. We're not oblivious to this. It doesn't overtake us through osmosis. We actually do know where light as energy is coming from at all times. Our bodies can tell it. We get tingling sensation. Our hair rises up on our skin. We might get a tightness across the solar plexus. We might get dizzy and nauseated, headaches, and tingling sensations in your hands and your feet. These are signs that the soul in you is letting you know that something is coming your way that you need to either participate in or not participate in. So you have to be aware that the spiritual light is something that you accumulate as well as something that you come into this world with. And it's up to you to tap on the door of remembrance and begin to pull up all of these detailed lessons, victories, successes, even some that were obstacles, but you have to see where you were, how much you've grown. Now, it is true, whatever has happened to you in the past doesn't dictate who you are now. However, whatever happened to you in the past led you to now. It influenced you, it impacted your decisions to make certain decisions, and that's where you are now. And this goes for everybody, even us spiritual teachers. So we want to be aware of all of these, I'll call it words of energy, that also create light within the body or an absence of light. Now, what creates an absence of light in your body? Too much negative thinking, cursing, being addicted to drugs, being addicted to alcohol, sometimes being also addicted to sex, being in abusive relationships or domestic violence relationships, or being on, I'm going to say also drug-oriented relationships, or maybe on a path where you're studying things like of an occult nature, and because you don't have all the keys, you wind up going in the wrong direction. And then you wind up dealing with some entities that you don't understand. So it's a whole lot of stuff. But I'm just bringing that to the forefront to remind all of us that unconditional love, as easy as it is the most difficult tool to acquire and be able to constantly and continuously put it into motion for yourself. Now, how can we do that? Through self-love, loving yourself first. If you can love yourself first and foremost, if you can spend the time every day telling yourself that you love yourself unconditionally, telling the body, the organs, the cells that you love yourself unconditionally, then no matter what happens, the body and the cells within the body, plus the master cells, know exactly what to do and will draw up in you ideas of awareness, ideas from the past, be able to pull resources to you in many different ways without you having to think about it. Because the master cell is the master cell, and it understands every part of your being: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, etheric side. It knows all of that. It understands where your soul has been and how many, I'm going to say it this way, how many millions of souls that you have contacted from one lifetime to the next. And it just has snowballed and has accumulated. So we have to realize that eventually this ability to and capacity to have unconditional love frequently in our lives, so much that it is a seed that plants itself. And I say that because you're the farmer planting the seed, but once you put it in there and cultivate it and add water and add anything else that is natural to help fertilize it, to help it have very deep roots into the earth and have it connected so it gets good sunlight and get moonlight and the star systems affected, then once all of that is into place, then you stand an excellent opportunity to see your unconditional love grow immensely in your life, to the point that every day you wake up in a state of gratitude, you're thankful. And every moment you're in a state of gratitude and you're thankful. From moment to moment, you find yourself connected to all kinds of good sources of people, information, relationships, business ideas, creative ideas, technical assistance, all of these things. Why? Because you are now have bathed yourself in this unconditional love so much that it began to percolate throughout your body, into the bloodstream, into the tendons, into the hair, into the bones, into the different layer of skin, in all the other organs. People can look at you and notice that the energy around you has changed. You feel brighter. They can look in your eyes and they see this certain glint, the sparkle in your eyes. What they're seeing is the chi flowing through the body, fully aware of itself. That's right, the chi, which is divine energy or spirit, is fully aware of itself. All it strives to do is acclimate and align and attune itself to you. So for a certain amount of time in your life, you do control the avenues of expression so that you could demonstrate that you have more of this unconditional love inside of you. Now, here's another key point. You can't waste it on just any situation, any relationship, any person. You can't waste it. We know that if you take water, you can waste water, but then water, what? Through precipitation and heat and everything, evaporates, vaporizes, evaporates, whatever the technique is, goes back in the sky and connects with all the different clouds, energy, and next thing you know, precipitation is there, and then we have rain. Now, but your unconditional love can do that to a point based on where you are in your own consciousness. If you know that you're free in your mind and free in your heart, then to you, when you lay out unconditional love, you automatically know that the unconditional love is coming back to you. But if you are not aware of that, then you will find things very difficult. You'll see that the source in which you have to go to may be in a lockdown state. You may not comprehend or you may not remember how to unlock it. Unconditional love unlocks that too. So we all have to come to a level of awareness in order to have a better sense of our well-being. We have to have a better sense of the spiritual light being accumulated in our life, in our conscious awareness, so that it could what? Seep down into our subconscious mind so that it could balance out, it could purify, it can cleanse, and then it can strengthen everything that's in the subconscious, so that when the subconscious part of you reaches deeply inside to pull up information that you have to use right now or use in the immediate future, call a moment, you can do it clearly. You can see the information that you need very clearly. You'll know how to utilize it, and you'll know that it is proper or appropriate for you to utilize it. You'll realize you have the necessary skills or talents or expertise. Like the young people like to say it nowadays, you got a certain skill set. So you know your skill set works. So you have to exercise unconditional love. You have to utilize it every day so that it becomes second nature to you. Without you thinking about it, it's already in operation. But first and foremost, you have to love yourself. You have to bring the joy and the happiness to yourself. So if you're striving for a relationship, it would be best for you to bless yourself with a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, a lot of laughter, self-care with laughter, joy, happiness, serenity, peace, whatever you want to call it, transformation, beautifying yourself. You have to feel very good about yourself. You have to raise your self-esteem up to a point that if you were, let's say, in a business relationship that didn't work out right, you can step away from that relationship because you understand you already have value before you even entered that situation. See, you're building up value, but you're blessed with value already. You just have to recognize the value, excuse me, and then what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to tell that part of yourself, that divine nature part of yourself, that soul energy, you want to be able to stand it up inside you, stand it up inside of you and embrace it by ushering unconditional love into your life, more of it. You want to realize it's infinite and that you can never run out. What makes you feel like you're running out of it is the mental wear and tear it has, the emotional wear and tear that it has on you, and often the physical. And I say that because many of us have been through various relationships, whether it's siblings, whether it's parents, relatives, cousins, you name it, co-worker, neighbor, where there's some major falling out that takes place, and it's very hard to mend it. Maybe the other party doesn't want to mend it, or maybe you don't want to mend it. But if you decide to clear yourself with forgiveness, then you can clear them with forgiveness without actually having to be in touch with them. But because you are already engaging and putting it into motion in your immediate life, and since all life is energy, that sibling, that loved one, that neighbor, coworker, they're going to feel that energy. When the time is right, they're going to feel it. Whether they feel it coming directly from you or someone else that they're in a similar situation with. Nonetheless, unconditional love is this breathing spiritual entity that takes care of itself. It just moves itself into your life and moves itself into you, and it settles where? In your heart center. So what we want to be able to do with these last 11 minutes left of this program is I want to get you into a channeled original creative pathwork meditation, but it's being channeled to you, which means I don't have it written down. There's nothing that I practice. I'm just going to bring it into being so that you can experience. So what I want you to do is I want you to know and be aware that there is plenty of divine light all around you. That divine light might come off in a very beautiful, creamy white light, or it might take you down into earthly rich brown and sienna brown. It may bring you burnt orange colors up into your feet. It may bring you olive greens, turquoise greens. It may bring you just whatever you need. It's going to bring you the vibration that you're going to need for this moment in this distinctive journey that I'm going to give to you. We're talking about spiritual light and well-being. So let me say this. For all of us, we affirm that we are walking in a path of divinity. And as we walk step by step, every hurdle that is in front of us shall dissolve, shall remove itself from our path. For it is not one with the God soul consciousness in us. It must find its level. Yet we can bless it as it comes and bless it as it goes. We affirm that every thought that comes to us, we know that it is connected to an infinite divine source. And this infinite divine source is the soul aspect inside of us that's already connected across the lanes of parallel universes. It's all one to us. There's no separation. I see and decree that there's no separation. If you refer to yourself as an individual, then you realize that even you cannot separate yourself. You are whole and complete. And therefore, you begin to see everything in your environment as whole and complete. So let us take this now as a journey and let us begin to flow. With those words said, the light that's in your master cells is now calling itself forward. Every organ in your body is being blessed by the master soul inside of your master cell. And it's beginning to weave itself through your spinal column, around it, all the way up to the crown and back, through your legs, through the soles of your feet into your pelvis, from your fingertips and palms up through your forearms and biceps and triceps into your shoulders, all that energy through your legs into your pelvis, massaging every part of your being. Coming up, I'll call it like the ladder, coming up the chakras in the front and in the back. And deep inside of you, now everything begins to walk in true, measured, but infinite well-being and infinite unconditional love. So begin to see every gateway unlocked, and the light of unconditional love in the form of a figure comes into your life through that gateway. And it recognizes you and therefore shakes your hand or embraces you. And it says, welcome back. And you say, welcome home. And as you do this journey in this manner, you will be aware that the other soul aspects of God consciousness and awareness is now finding its way back to you, back from whence it came. You will see that every part of your divine self, embedded in your master self, begins to turn around and bless every organ in your body because it now has the power and the authority to do so. And you're at the helm, you're at the wheel guiding this journey. You're not just listening and receiving it, but you're guiding this journey. And as you do this, you begin to hear melodic tones, tones that are very healing, and some that sound like flutes and violins and cellos and chimes, drums beating lightly in the background, matching the cadence of your heartbeat. You begin to see and feel the pleasantries of your divine self as a spiritual light form, emanating light. It does not matter, says my guide Akhenaten, if you could flicker a light. What matters is that you have unconditional love. That is the key that will allow more light to come into your life, and the key that will bless others with your light. And when you are socially mingling with each other, you will exchange a gift of light to each other. Know that there's a sense of greater oneness in you. So in this journey, Akhenaten and the angel of grace say this to you. Beloved, you are a blessed being. Beloved, you are a blessed soul. Beloved, you are love. So be love, beloved. And know that all that you have sought to do is being blessed and given to you, so that there's nothing for you to experience any form of lack or disillusionment, because you are divine. You carry the chi, the ambience, the light in your auric field, and you're carrying oneness. Embrace yourself. Extend your arms out parallel to the ground and embrace yourself gradually. Just bring the energy back to yourself. This is all of the unconditional love in the universe. Keep sweeping back out and gathering. Know that the unconditional love that's in this world that is meant for you to receive is coming in your direction. Understand that everything that you ever thought about is already here. Understand that that which you seek to accomplish has already been accomplished. And know that you are fully blessed by the words, not only that I speak, but the words that I speak are coming from Akhenaten, they're coming from the angel of grace, but they're also coming from your master selves. Your master selves are speaking these words to me to give back unto you. And know that the full power of your blessing is yours to have. It is yours to have. And behold, because you now are holding it inside of you. You are holding all the unconditional love. So see it as a beautiful, radiant, iridescent globe of light, about the size of a beach ball. And you can feel the energy from within it begin to tingle into the membrane of the ball, but you feel it in the palms of your hands, the pads of your fingers, and you can embrace this. You can bring this energy into your body. This is your unconditional love, and you're allowing this cellular memory of the master self begin to equate itself with this luminous light ball of energy called your unconditional love. You might feel a tingling sensation pop up out of the base of your palm through the center of your palm. If that's happening to you right now, your body and the master cells in your hands can feel you. There are master cells in your liver, master cells in your heart, master cells in the tendons, in the bone marrow. There are master cells all over your body, trillions of them. But there's only one, and that one rides the elevator through your chakras. That's the one that likes to peek out through the top of your head and look around at the sky. That's the one that looks through the third eye to see past, present, and future. That's the one that looks through the throat chakra that hears past, present, and future. That's the one that steps down into the heart and embraces the soul of who you truly are. Take this energy now. Whichever way that you feel it, whichever way that it comes to you, take the energy, and I want you to embrace it. The same way that you might embrace a loved one, the same way that you might embrace a teddy bear, stuffed teddy bear, or in my case, a stuffed wolf. Embrace it. Just let the energy of it flow through your body. It's going to flow through your body, through all your hands, fingers, arms, toes, feet, legs, shoulders, pelvis, torso, neck, spine, head. It's flowing throughout your body, up and down your back. It's flowing. It is allowing you to achieve whatever it is that you seek to achieve. So in this moment, allow yourself to Feel the light of unconditional love in you. Allow yourself to resonate with the unconditional love with you, and then radiate the unconditional love through every part of your body, through every part of the physical, emotional, mental, causal, etheric, and spiritual, right up to the Adman part of yourself, the atomic side of yourself, the molecular side of yourself, the Adam Cadman side of yourself, the anointed one of yourself, the Buddha, the Christ consciousness side of yourself. Just know that these 10,000 petals that you saw upon the head of Buddha represents the 10,000 ways of the Tao. And you are the Tao. You are the way. Allow yourself to receive that you are the way. You are the path for yourself. And everyone has their own path. This is why sometimes your path feels like it's just you. There's other times there's someone walking side by side with you. They're like in your path. A part of their path bleeds into your path, but you're still on your own path. Allow that oneness to flow into you. You are purely unconditional love. And now this is the first stage of the light within you. We are in this fourth dimension realm, but we have this fifth dimensional awareness going on where you can speak things into fruition in your life. So know that these planes of awareness are already open. Unconditional love is the key. It was the most difficult key, but it's the key that continues to bless you over and over and over again. And it brings with it understanding, knowledge. It brings with it wisdom. It brings with a greater capacity to achieve, and it brings the seeds of divine grace into your life. Next Thursday, I look forward to giving you another live session. If you missed today's session or even any session, just wait for about an hour or two. You'll see it right there on my YouTube channel. Or if you're on my email list, you are able to receive a direct email link with it right there so you can click it on and watch it. Very soon, in the very near future of now, I'll be introducing some live meditation music, playing a flat harp, 36-string flat harp, to bring in the energy so that you can ride on the wings, ride on the aegis of the angel of grace and divine providence. If you want to be in touch with me, simply email me at iam.circlegrace1@gmail.com or iam@circlegrace1@yahoo.com. Check out my website, circlegrace1.byregion.net. Also, you could call me on my Skype number, which is 505-349-4722. Looking forward to doing more of these live video streaming programs. They run for about 40-45 minutes so that you can get more information in an impacted way that you can utilize it right away in your life. Next Wednesday, I'll be back on Blog Talk Radio with Decree and It Shall Be program. And then coming up in July, third or last week of July, I'll be starting another Blog Talk Radio in condition to one that I have on Wednesdays. Looking forward to doing it on Tuesdays, and that one will be called Decree and It Shall Be. Thank you very much. My grace is your grace. Akhenaten says, our grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you next Thursday right here at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for your support.